What's up, guys? My name is Archer. Welcome back to our Ootp 19 franchise with the Kansas City Royals. We are just a couple of days away from the trade deadline, and we're going to be doing some trading today. I don't know who, and I don't know how, but darn it if I'm not convinced that I'm going to make it happen. So one thing I was hoping that would happen was that this month Whit Merrifield would really pick it up and become a valuable trade chip once again, and he has not done that. In fact, he's gone backwards a little bit, so this is more or less a lost season for him as far as I'm concerned. We do have him on for arbitration next year, and the arbitration estimate is like $2 million, so we'll keep him hanging around, and maybe he can regain some of that trade value, but I'm not too pleased with how things have gone with that. However, in his place, we have another second baseman. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe just whoever we put on second base is going to perform decently well. But Ramon Torres is hitting 322, 370, 435. That's not something I think he'll do consistently. If you look at his tools, he has like plus avoid Ks, but everything else is either below average or just above average. So I mean, this is not something that looks repeatable to me, especially if you look at his batting stats expanded, I believe, and you look at his BABIP, it's higher than it's ever been. So to me, that kind of signals that this is unsustainable. He is taking more pitches per plate appearance, so there's a case to be made that he's just hunting better pitches to hit, but it's difficult for me to say that with any amount of certainty. However, you know, being up and down, he has been pretty consistently good. So, that all being said, he's 27. So no matter what, whether you think this is for real or not, he's not really a part of this rebuild, unless we think that he's going to just continue getting better up until the time he's 30. So we're going to trade him. And I have already shopped him today, so let's go one day in the future forward. And let's go and see what the options are for Ramon Torres. Now, I have done this a day in advance as well to just kind of get an idea. So Drew Ellis is an interesting case. Decent all around, great defense at first base, but nah. I mean, you know, he's 24. It's like, yeah, you're fine, but I'm not excited about that type of player. Hunter Harvey is kind of an interesting option, but also he's a borderline starter who hasn't really even proven himself as a reliever, so I'm kind of nonplussed about that. As we go further down, Reynaldo Lopez looked exciting at one point, but not anymore. Luis Robert, like 2 years ago, I would have been all over this, but he's really come down off of a cliff with some injuries, so I'm not really looking into that. There's nobody else that really is catching my eye. Again, those people are not great. Now, I did take a look at Will Smith, and I just decided that it's just not worth it for us. You know, like, sure, he's a decent catcher, and sure, I should be looking for that, but I have Jack Bolger down in the minor leagues. I have also Noah Cardenas down in the minor leagues. Like, clearly I can attain catchers if I want to, and if it's this easy to get Will Smith, I imagine getting somebody of equal quality is not that difficult either. Then you come to the Yankees, and we have that offer of Albert Abreu again. And now we also have Frazier Perez and Clint Frazier, who is not great, but I mean, it's a name. I'm going to come back to that because I think that that's the place where the most interesting offers exist. But let me just check and make sure there's nobody else that wasn't there before that kind of blows a hole in this. No, there isn't, which I figured. It changes a little, but not too much. You know, nobody's going to suddenly be like, actually, I do want to throw a 4-star prospect your way. So it's going to be the Yankees. Here's the thing about the Yankees. They have Justice Sheffield, who to me this is a 3 at best. But he's been performing really well during the course of this save. He had a good year at AAA. He had a good year at AA, good-ish. He had another good year at AAA. He's been back and forth between the minor leagues and AAA last 2 seasons, and he's performed admirably at both stages. This year he's tearing AAA a new one. So this is the guy that I really want. So Justice Sheffield here. And he wants a lot more. But how much is a lot more? So wow. So yeah, yesterday this trade was just straight up he would take it. So it's a little annoying that I waited 1 day just to kind of be sure of things. Now if we look at their prospects, they don't really have anybody I want. So essentially this is going to start becoming, I'm going to throw stuff at the Yankees to get Justice Sheffield. Is pretty much what I think is going to happen. One thing I am seeing is that he's in their rotation right now, right? Because Clayton Kershaw, who they signed, again, they're the Yankees, it's ridiculous, is out right now. So they need a 5th starter. 2 of their starters have 6 ERAs, so clearly something should be done about that. Now they do have in their second base slot Tyler Wade, who's real good. However, other places in their infield are not as great. Didi's not having a great season, and also Aaron Hicks is great defensively, but he can't really hit that well in left field. You know, there are places where all these things can get shuffled around, and you can put Torres' bat in the lineup. And the other thing that they're kind of looking for is more on base percentage and better batting average, because those are 2 areas that they're struggling in right now. So, that tells me what I need to give them. So I'm going to give them Ramon Torres and then a starter from our roster, because I think that that's going to be pretty essential to getting the deal done. Which one would they want most? I mean, they'd want Trevor Oakes, who I'd like to hang on to. Let's see if Jake Junis sweetens the pot a little bit. He does. Oh, to the point that Joe Gray Jr. would get it done. That is super tempting. Well, let's see if I can do things a bit differently. Maybe like, I don't know who we could throw in. Maybe we could throw in like a Jorge Hidalgo. No, that's not it for you. I mean, it looks like they just want Joe Gray Jr., which is fine. I think, you know, he's good-ish, but he's not great. As far as center fielders go, we have one who's the same age and who's a lot better, so I'm not really that sad about it. I do think that there's some surplus value over there, so I think we can get a little bit more out of the Yankees. At which point I'm looking at some of their prospects. Man, their farm system is real bad. Wow. Miguel Marte. I mean, that's just Ramon Torres is who you're offering me back. I mean, you're not offering. I'm looking at him. I don't know why I said you're offering. You probably wouldn't give him to me. Wow. Yeah, there actually is nothing that I really want here. Dang, Yankees. This is a garbage farm system. I mean, let's see what they say about... Whoops. Let's see what they say about Miguel Marte. Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with this trade, to be honest with you. I was planning on doing this as just Ramon Torres to the Yankees for Justice Sheffield straight up. But I don't know. I mean, this is still fine. I could wait a day and see if the offer gets better, like it got worse. But then there's also the option of it getting even worse. Should I risk it? Yeah, what the hell? I'm a rebuilding club. What do I have to... Well, but then again, like, what am I losing? Jake Junis? Ooh, real sad. Joe Gray Jr.? I think this is just good. I had to press the button before I thought about it anymore. Okay, so Torres and Sheffield swap clubs. So Justice Sheffield, I think we're just going to send him straight into the rotation. Place him on the active roster. He'll go into the rotation. None of you were on my short list or anything, so I don't have to do anything about that. So I think that that's a pretty good trade. I'm not trying to stop there, though. Excuse me. I do want to do more. And one of the things I want to do more about is see if anybody wants Thomas Nitto. This is not a player that I've shopped any time recently, and he's been on a bit of a hot streak. So my thought is maybe I can get something out of him. The likelihood is that I'll get nothing but 2-star offers for him. Oh, hello, Tanner Dodson. You look all right. Doing well in A-ball. OSA seems to think the same type of potential, but a little less there, but with better control. I mean, as things go, that's pretty good. Adbert Alzale, Vlad Gutierrez, already seen you. Garrett Hampson, Trevor Story. Oh, wow, Forrest Whitley. Okay, well, this is not something I expected to get offered. Do you need a catcher? I would say the answer to that is yes. And you're in a really tight division race with Texas. And Forrest Whitley isn't slotting into your rotation right now, huh? I mean, he should. But he isn't. Oh, this is tough. Would they do this? This seems crazy. But then again, this isn't Forrest Whitley, #1 pitching prospect in all of baseball. This is Forrest Whitley went up to AAA and put up a 7 ERA, and then went back down to AA, put up a 4.27, went up to AAA, had a 4.60, and now is at the Major League Club putting up a 5.17. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me a little bit of Lucas Giolito, in how his stock just kind of kept dropping. And if the Nationals hadn't have traded him when they did, I think that his stock would have been a lot lower. So I think that that's what's happened with Forrest Whitley. He has an inability to corral lefties, but is so efficient against right-handers to remain effective. That is very odd. At his peak, his repertoire should include a high-octane fastball, an off-the-charts changeup, a 12-6 curve, and a decent slider. His raw stuff continues to improve and is projected to be among the best in the league. Well, so yeah, that sounds like what I want. Alright, I'm going to keep looking, but I mean, if we find something better than that. Is that realistic? I feel like it is. I mean, I'm going to do it unless something totally blows me away. So you can let me know down in the comments whether you feel like that's something that would happen. But again, just remember, this is not the Forrest Whitley that we know right now. Even my assistant GM is even like, I don't know, man, this doesn't seem like it makes that much sense to me. So here's the thing, yeah, Thomas Nitto is a catcher who plays good defense, and those are always in high demand. He's been on a bit of a hot streak. He's kind of, let's just say, average across the board because contact and eye kind of even out in that way. So an average catcher who can play defense for a team that has a catcher hitting 175 and who doesn't play good defense for kind of a borderline prospect at this point, I think that makes perfect sense to me. I am, of course, going to look at all their other prospects to see if I can graft some more value from this trade, but I also already feel like I'm screwing them, so I'm not sure that I can really in good conscience do that. Colwyn? Nah. Jonathan Arias is a name that I hear a lot. I mean, if I was going to go after somebody, I'd go after Doug Rushing, but he's been drafted just a year ago, so I couldn't. Corbin Carroll, he doesn't quite consider it an insult, blah, blah, blah. Bobby Witt, that's not the worst reaction I've ever seen. So you'd do it for Oaks or Lee or Benton. Nah. Are you better than any of them? Maybe better than Oaks. No, I honestly think that this is good. I mean, I'm going to try and throw in like a low-level prospect, maybe like a reliever or something. Just because I'm not a fan of one-to-one swaps. Those are pretty risky. Right fielder, Andres Santana. Yeah, organizational depth. Why not? Oh, or I could do Miles Straw, who has no power. Wow, really? In real life, he has a pretty decent amount of power, actually. Well, I guess it is more gap power. Maybe they're right. Gilberto Celestino. Actually, that's more the guy that I would want. Yorban Cueta. Logan Cerny. That's not the worst return, actually. I think, let's see if we can get Celestino as well. There's not enough for him. I mean, if you're willing to take it for, like, Matt Morales. I'm just going to pretend in my head that I gave him a player to be named later, and I gave him a list of, like, 3 players that I didn't want. And that's how this goes down in my head. Wow, I did not expect to be doing a deal like this. Okay, yeah, Forrest Whitley, Gilberto Celestino, who in his own right is kind of decent. I mean, this is, you know, a good 4th outfielder, in my opinion, for Thomas Nitto and Matt Morales. I think that's a done deal. All right, there we go. There's our second trade of the trade deadline, and we are going to... I hate that I have to do that. There's a bit of a bug where you can't just immediately place them on the active roster. You have to try putting them into AAA first, and then it'll say, no, they have a major league contract. You have to put them on the 40-man, and then it'll give you the option to put them on the 40-man or the active roster, which is kind of weird. I wish they would fix it, but at the same time, it's fine. I'm going to convert him back to a starting pitcher, which means he's not going to be as good, but also, like, why not? Like, we're a rebuilding team, and this doesn't seem like a bad idea. If we ever need to, we can just make him a reliever again, right? So I think that that's fine. Now, the only person left to trade, in my opinion, that I feel like I could, is I feel like I could possibly part ways with Trevor Oaks. I'd feel a little bad about it because he's been with us since the beginning, but I think I just saw Thomas Nitto's name just pop up on the creating pictures screen, which means that the Astros may be offering him back to us, which would be hilarious. Instant buyer's remorse. Okay, so Pavin Smith. I mean, that's a decent player, but that's not good enough. I'm going to need... okay. I'm going to need real good value, he says, as Xander Bogaerts pops up. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, you wouldn't trade him. Sorry, I'm just not doing it. I mean, I probably wouldn't anyway, but certainly not in the context of this season where they're in a division race. Brendan Little. That's a reliever. I said that a little too quickly, but I'm pretty sure. Charles King. 3-star. Okay, McMahon or Forrest Wall. Both decent, but not amazing. Liberator. Jake Rogers. I mean, Jake Rogers is somebody that I've always kind of liked, but I mean, he's gonna be a backup catcher as soon as the cavalry arrives. Jamie Jones. I was told that's how that's said. I could have been just somebody was messing with me, but I wouldn't be surprised. It sounds right. You're pretty good, but you're a left fielder to me in the context of what our farm system has. That's actually a bit of a tough one. Although Oaks is just... I just feel like if we put a good defense behind him, he would be a lot better. And he'd be a legit, like, 3-4 rather than a 4-5. Maybe I'm overvaluing him just because I started with him. That's certainly possible. Do you want Ramon Torres back? Oh, man. I mean, I see a lot of really good relievers being offered, so I could always do that. Austin Hedges is a little old. Same thing with Dan Vogelbach. Not that I would ever want Dan Vogelbach, so I don't know why I mentioned it. Nick Solak, Christian Arroyo, Okay, Alex Claudio and Keone Kela. I mean, those are great players, don't get me wrong. But there's no Mazzara. Why would you trade this man? I do not understand your logic here. I really do not. He's putting up like a 900 OPS. You're tied for the division. The Astros just traded for a guy. I mean, I guess your rotation is that bad that you're kind of desperate, but damn, guys. That just seems bad. Like, that's your heart of the rotation bat. I mean, in real life, I would do that in an instant if somebody was dumb enough to offer me it, but I feel kind of bad taking advantage of the AI like that. Antonio Senzatella, you're just a worse Trevor Oaks, as far as I'm concerned. I know this feels like I'm just hanging on to Trevor Oaks for the sake of it, because Albert Abreu has been offered, like some really good kind of young relievers have been offered, and also Jamie Jones has been offered. Yeah, there is Thomas Nitto. I thought that had happened. But, here's why I'm not. He's 27. And he's performing admirably for a rebuilding club, as far as I'm concerned. Like, our defense is so bad, and he's a ground ball pitcher, so he needs a good defense to succeed. He's still on the minimum contract. He isn't eligible for arbitration for another year. Like, if I want to trade him in the future, maybe, but right now just seems like the wrong time. And maybe I'm just being dumb about it, right? But I don't know. I feel like I'm not. I feel like that's the right thing to do. So, not going to trade him. I think that's going to be the end of our trading, as far as that goes. Let me fix our roster. What do we need? Another pitcher? No, because we just added 2. We'll need a catcher. That's right. Well, lucky for us, there's probably one. Chase Vallet. Oh, you can't play catcher, though. Well, why are you here? Oh, that feels bad. Maybe I should just sign somebody. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that instead. Maybe just sign a free agent. Because, I mean, I don't care too much about things like that, but that felt real bad. Williams Astudillo? I mean, if for no other reason than to watch him avoid strikeouts like the plague, I think I'll do it. I mean, he's going to come straight up to the major leagues, so why not? He should accept that, like, tomorrow. Did he? No, he did not. That's actually kind of surprising. Donnie DeWeese was designated for assignment, and at this point, I'm just going to send him back down to AAA. Right, so now we have Justice Sheffield in our team, and he is going to... Oh, there's the contract signed. There we go. I believe I have to move you to the active roster. I do. Oh, your name is Williams with an N. Interesting. I've never seen that name before, I don't think. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Justice Sheffield is going to be starting, I believe, today. Did you? Oh yeah, he went 3.1 innings of shutout ball while striking out 5 and walking none. I mean, that's one way to start off your, start off being in a different place. That's pretty good. Okay. Now that that's all done, I am going to sim ahead one more day, and Jerry and Ealy's getting called up to AA. That's a thing that's happening. Man, that is crazy. He's 19 in AA. Granted, he's going to be turning 20 on August 19th. So his birthday's coming up real soon. But he made it to AA as a 19-year-old. Like, that's incredibly impressive, and I don't want to take anything away from it. I just wanted to check in on Khalili and see if I think he is actually good or maybe not. I don't know. So next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go through the entire month of August until September call-ups. And we might actually have some people that are going to be kind of interesting to call up. So I'll go ahead and show you who they are. Then we'll go through September. I'll show you how they did. And then I'll show you who won the playoffs, and we will move into the off-season next episode. So let's go do it. So it is September, but we're so bad that I went ahead and looked up the worst winning percentages in the modern era. And that's not what I wanted to click on. If we sort by, like, percentage, the worst ever is 235. I don't think we can do that badly. But I am afraid that we could get, like, top 5 worst ever, which would be bad. And the other part of this is that we're pretty much guaranteed to be on this page. So, that's not good. Yeah, we have a 283 winning percentage. We're 39 and 99, and look, it's been a hard season. However, our bright spot is that Jerry and Ealy is at AAA, and he's taken to it quite well so far, hitting 385 with a 538 slugging percentage, so that's awesome. The Forrest Whitley experiment has gone better than any of us could have hoped. He's walking a ton, and he's not striking out a ton, but his BABIP is so low that he's been good. So we've been getting a little lucky with that one. Justice Sheffield has actually pitched pretty decently, as far as I'm concerned. The walk's really high, but the BABIP is a little high as well. So, you know, a 4 ERA would be pretty nice. And they're both pretty young, 24 and 22, so they can both still improve. And that's not the worst start of a rotation I've ever seen, so I'm pretty happy about it. Zhangyi Zhao has also been picking things up and doing quite well. He now has a 757 OPS, and that's been rising pretty much all season. I'm still really excited about him, and I think that he is going to start having seasons where he puts up an 800, 850 type OPS while playing really good defense at either left field or center field. I don't think he quite has the arm for right field, but, you know, it's all relative. What else? Right. Xavier Fernandez has stepped in and been a better catcher than we've ever had, putting up a 748 and playing plus defense. So that's pretty awesome. Tellez still is awful. Richard Lovelady's having another decent season. I meant to call Robinson Ortiz up to AA, and I forgot, but now I've done it. Noah Cardenas is really kind of scuffling, which I'm not too happy about, but oh well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go day by day so that you can keep an eye on it too. Oh, okay, well, Justin Lawrence just tore his meniscus, so that's fun. Guess we're going to call up Tanner Hogue. We're just going to go day by day. I think I want him to get somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 at-bats at AAA, but if he just refuses to not crush it, I may not even wait that long until Jerry and Ealy comes up. Because I've decided at this point that he is coming up pretty much. What's going on? Why are we loading for so long? Okay. So yeah, as long as he keeps around a 300 batting average and a, let's say like a 350-ish on base percentage, he's coming up by 50 at bats. Okay, not looking great right now. Come on, Jerian, be my hero. Yikes. Did I rush him? Oh no. Redeem yourself. He didn't have a game today. He also didn't have a game today. What about now? Oh wait, is your season over? Oh shoot, I think his season is over. Yeah, it is. Oh, what do I do? Look, I need to see results of the process, alright? I may regret this, but he's coming up, and you're playing left field, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm debating whether or not to show you this game. Oh, he's already gotten 2 at-bats. Who cares? I'm doing it. We're playing a game. I'm going to try and only show you Jerry and Ealy's at-bats. I wish there was a way to do that explicitly, like if you only wanted to watch one player, where you could just be like, only show me this person. Might be interesting. So where do we have him batting? 8th. Okay, so that shouldn't be too hard to mess with. But also I'm going to change it to be... I think I want him to bat 2nd. You know, for fun. Why can I not move him? There we go. And Nicky Lopez can move down. Whoops, I moved Xavier Fernandez. Guess he's moving up 1. Okay. Let's get into the game. We're facing off against Brent Honeywell, who has not had a good season. So we'll go through Khalil Lee, who is at the count 2-2. Wow, Tampa Bay is 8-3 versus us this year. That's not the best. And Lee hits one. Okay, well, Jake Cronenworth, you are not very good at this game. Let's see if Jerry and Ealy can pick up his first major league hit. This one line, oh, that is just right at the center fielder. That's too bad. At first it looked like a line drive, but no, it was just really high. All right. Until runners in scoring position, we didn't get anything. And they don't get anything either. Should be safe to go. Yep. Justin Dunn. Oh, Justin. Okay, so they have a man on first and third. This one roped into right field. That's going to be over the head of Khalil Lee. They're going to score at least 1. They only score 1. And we still don't have an out in the second. You know what? I don't care. Oh my god. What? Hold on. Where's the game log? What in the world? Okay, so Jake Bowers hit a double. Okay, so so Brett Sullivan hit a double, Jake Bauer scored, Luke Roy went to third, then McKay hit a single. Brendan McKay? I wonder if he's a pitcher. Luke Roy scored, Sullivan to third, Harrison hit a double, Sullivan scored, McKay to third, Cronenworth a double, McKay scored and Harrison scored, Malik Smith a triple, Cronenworth scored, Arroyo grounded out, but Malik Smith scored. And at no point did anyone take out Justin Dunn. Don't even know what to say. Like, do I have the settings wrong? Is my manager or my bench coach not allowed to do that for some reason? Like, is that somehow my fault? Do I feel bad or is it just hilarious? I can't tell. Okay, if Nicky Lopez gets on here, we have a chance to get around to Ealy, and he does. Okay, so now we have Khalil Lee up, and he strikes out with no swing, which is not the way I prefer to have people strike out. So you've thrown 48 pitches, and I see no reason to take you out. Is there a way I can check, like, options or something where, like, is my manager not allowed to do that? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why I'm going batter by batter, by the way. I'm just going to click half inning again. Okay. So here's our man, Jerry Ealy. Can he get his first major league hit against Brent Honeywell? He strikes out. Okay. Alright, well, Justin Dunn has been clean. Oh, he gave up 10 runs. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. If any one of these three batters can get on here, wow, he almost beat that out, then we'll get back to Ealy. And this one is hit over the head of the left fielder. That's a double by Nicky Lopez. Is he actually decent? He may be. He's hitting 273, 318, 366, so that's not great, but seems to be showing a little something right now. Alright, Khalil Lee, count 2-2, strikes out, because of course he does. Can Jerry Ealy get his first major league hit? Here we go. And it's grounded to the shortstop. Can he beat it out? He can't. Damn. Well, he's going to get a hit at some point. You know what? Justin Dunn's only thrown like 84 pitches. He can take another half inning. Hey, he didn't let anybody score. Until runners in scoring position. No, we don't get anybody. Until runners in scoring position. Half inning. He only let in one. Until runners in scoring position? Okay. Right, so we have to take him out for sure. Oh, I think I left warm-up on as well. So we're going to bring in somebody cold. Great. You know what? Liam has been sending me messages all season about how he wants to get traded, so I care about his well-being absolutely not at all. Gets through a clean inning. Alright, we're going to see Lopez, Lee, and Ealy here. Lopez hits this one, and diving catch in center field by Smith. Malik Smith with a great play there. Khalil Lee facing Austin Franklin now. He is going to strike out again. Good Lord. Alright, Jerry and Ealy up to face Austin Franklin. Can he get his first major league hit? Count is 2-1. He strikes out. Jerry and Y. Oh, that ends the game as well. So Justin Dunn went 7 innings with 11 earned runs, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. If you've ever seen a weirder line than that, I don't know, send it to me on Twitter or something. Okay, well, I'm just going to sim until the end of the playoffs now. I am going to try and go day by day until Ealy gets his first major league hit. If he goes hitless through his first, 5 games, I may just have to send him. Okay, he got one. It's all good. It's all good. He went 1 for 4 against Baltimore. We're fine. He's still going to be a superstar. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to go until the playoffs end, and I'll recap those, and then we'll end this here, and next episode we'll have the off-season for you, and we can start, hopefully, finally making some strides towards improvement. That would be really nice. So I'll see you when the playoffs end. So then, the season is over, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, after being involved in 3 out of the last 4 World Series, finally won one, and in pretty convincing fashion as well. Over a team that had just almost swept its way there, so that's pretty cool. We did help the Yankees win their divisional race, which always makes me feel like the trade was a little more balanced, and Houston got all the way to the LCS, so again, that helps me feel a little bit better about those trades that we made. As for the people that we traded for, Justice Sheffield actually did really well for us this season, all things considered. His walks are still really high. That's not really going to cut it, but everything else was so good that he ended up with a 3.49 ERA. I do think we have a 3-ish type starter here in him, and I think that trade is really going to work out well for us. Forrest Whitley, also pretty decent. Really was not as good as Justice Sheffield, but he's also 2 years younger, so I'm kind of hoping, maybe that's part of it. 2 more years of development. Well, he's only 1 year younger now, I suppose. So maybe 1 more year development, he'll be where Sheffield already is. But that's a lefty and a righty that are both pretty good. And Trevor Oakes, of course, had a decent-ish season while going 184 innings, which is really the main part of it that we all wanted to see. Zhang Yizhao ended the season kind of meh, but I do think he is a good player. He's going to be really amazing in left field, and I am going to send Jerry and Ealy back down to start next season because service time, so I want to delay his arbitration by a year. So he will not be with us to start next season, but he will be up at some point, and by some point I mean really, really soon, so that should be good. He did end up hitting 2 home runs, and the strikeout numbers were a little concerning to me, but not the worst in the world, and overall a 713 OPS in your first taste of the major leagues at 20 years old, not too shabby, so I am actually pretty happy with that, and I think that is where we're going to leave things. So once again, my name has been Archer. This has been our Ootp 19 franchise with the Kansas City Royals. If you did like the video, consider clicking that like button. Again, it helps with visibility for the channel, and also consider subscribing and clicking the bell, or however it is that you get notifications from YouTube. Y'all will figure it out. You're smart people. I will see you guys next episode, where we'll take on the off season and hopefully start bringing Kansas City back into relevance. See you then.